The first noble truth is the truth of human suffering. The Buddha went out. He saw a sick person. He saw an old, decrepit person. He saw a corpse. Wherever there's a corpse, there are people who just lost that person. There's grief. So he saw that truth, and that really compelled him to undertake the search. The second thing he saw is how out of relationship we are to that suffering. How much when we have what we want, it's not enough. How much we want what we don't have. How much we want something different. I always like to say it's like sex. When we have a good sexual experience, we next moment, better, different. Cigarette, whatever it is. Second noble truth is really that. Is that we're constantly in reaction to what we have or don't have. We want something different. We want something better. We want something other. We want it again. We want. And the Buddha's saying, check it out. Just check it out. Check it out. Look how much we have. Dial it down. He says, thus have I heard, the Buddha said, have few desires, but have great ones. Second noble truth. In the Kabbalah, there are 3 definitions of enlightenment, and one definition is the clarification of desire. Second noble truth, clarify this. Third noble truth is the vote of confidence from the Buddha that you can realize it. You are living it. It is not a matter if you can or cannot. You are living this life right now. One can realize this. And the fourth noble truth are the practice instructions. How do you do it? How do you realize it? So I'm going to share the first set of practice instructions. I just want you to jot these down. This is the Noble Eightfold Path. He distinguished 8 different things that we needed to do. One is we needed to have the right view. We needed to see things properly. We needed to see how attached, how much we crave, how off our rockers we are around this whole issue of what we have and what we don't have. Right view, right thought. How do we then think about it, consider it, work with it? Then he moves on to talking about right speech, that the insight that we have around not complaining constantly about what we don't have, not asserting how wrong everything is, not criticizing others all the time, like actually having speech reflect the quality of thought that reflects the right view, and then taking the right action. How do we do that? Then he goes on to talk about right livelihood, the way in which we make our livings, right effort. You know, we're always in Zen talking about effort and effortlessness. What is the right amount of effort? How do we make effort? Right mindfulness, how we pay attention, use our attention, and right concentration, how we learn how to sit in an undivided way. I just want you to have that path that he articulated. But mainly what I'm going to invite you to do is to look at those 4 noble truths, the truth of suffering, the truth of our attachment and delusion. The good news, if you will, from a Christian point of view, the exemplars, that the confidence, the great faith, Daishin Kan, and then finally the path. And I want you to just contemplate those 4 noble truths in terms of your life. A lot of us come to the path through the recognition of suffering. And once we start to really look at craving, attachment, our sense of how things should be, and we start to loosen that a little bit, I can live and respond to my son's psychosis without just being catapulted into grief and confusion and anger that this shouldn't be happening. Because the second noble truth is true. I can relate to that through a different lens. Oh, truth of suffering, psychosis happens during the pandemic. My son feels innocent to me. You know, he's suffered enough. He has Down syndrome. What the hell? And then I can feel something about that without getting just completely mired in it. Then there is a path. There is a way to work with it. I can feel the tenderness and the poignancy and the intimacy and the pain and the desire for healing and the approaches to healing, the path of healing. It's available if I'm not stuck in the view that it shouldn't be here and that's wrong and that it's bad and that it's not okay. So in your own life, these Four Noble Truths have already been made apparent to you in many ways. And so, like the Buddha, you already have seen these Four Noble Truths. This is an early description of how we practice.